Hi, I'm Indiana Mehta.
I'm Anusha Vijayaraghavan, and we are BollyHeelsTO.
Just like BlogTO.
BollyHeelsTO is a Bollywood fusion in heels. We're a dance duo, the two of us. We incorporate so many different styles from all around the world. We've trained in so many styles as well, and we'd like to essentially incorporate the diversity that we see here in Toronto in our dancing.
We started BollyHeelsTO officially November 2020 is a blur, so 2019. Yeah. We both had this idea of Bollywood in heels, and at the time I was living in India and she was here. We'd never met. I was using the hashtag BollyHeels. She was also using the hashtag BollyHeels. So we had this same idea, and then 3 years ago I moved to Canada. We happened to meet through a common friend, and here we are. We had to add the TO for Toronto.
Heels dancing has become very popular recently, but it's very much sexy dancing, and there's nothing more than that, than what you see in terms of heels dancing, and we wanted to do something different.
So we were like, why can't we try doing what we like and still bring our culture and stick to our roots at the same time, experiencing and accepting the Western side of dance forms. We definitely don't do commercial Bollywood, and surprisingly, including the South Asian community has received it very well in a positive way. Yes, I started with Indian classical and experiencing Bollywood dancing on the streets and movies, that's been there, but training in hip-hop and jazz and having my lines, when you're training in more than one style, you're complementing each other.
So I guess our first performance was at Fever After Dark, which is a choreographer showcase here in Toronto. And we wanted to create something very, very different that no one has ever seen. And people were very receptive and they loved the performance. They wanted to know more about us. And from then we started to create more work.
After our first performance, we announced our first workshop, which was again very well received. We were overwhelmed with the response. And then the lockdown. So we were like, this is our time to actually create content and put our work out there, put our creativity out there. So we started releasing, I want to say on an average, 2 YouTube videos a week. We got into wanting to create more work for film and TV, but we were like, how do we get there? So we started looking into grants to create our own work. Fortunately, we received all of those. So we start our process on this project this month. Toronto, Canada, North America, it's such a diverse place with so many other cultures living here, and the people have grown up here. So the first generations or the second generations, when they were growing up, they never really saw a person of color, representing their own style and not having to change to adapt. And I think that's been very inspiring for people around.